Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear children, in this lesson I want to introduce some vowel signs to you. For group D, for those who finished alphabets, introducing alphabets, middle case, the beginner case and the end case, you're going to learn about vowel sign. In this lesson, I want to explain 3 vowel signs for you. The first one called fatha, which appears like this. If we imagine this dash or this line is Arabic letter, so fatha always coming over the Arabic letter, always coming over the Arabic letter. Imagine this one, this line is Arabic letter. The sound of fatha is ah. Kasra has the same shape of fatha, but coming underneath of Arabic letter. Coming underneath the Arabic letter. Imagine this line is Arabic letter, so kasra coming underneath of Arabic letter. The sound of kasra is e. Damma appears like a little wall coming on top of Arabic letter. Imagine this line is Arabic letter, so dhamma coming over the Arabic letter, and the sound of dhamma is u. So a, e, u, a, e, u. This is fatha, this is kasra, this is dhamma. Sound of fatha is a, sound of kasra is e, sound of dhamma is u. These vowel signs, when coming with Arabic letter, they make change in Arabic letter sounds. For example, in here we have letter ba. This is the name of that letter, ba. But the sound coming from the first letter of the name, which is b. So if I write down letter ba with its sound, which is b, it appears like this. So this is silence because there is no fatha, kasra, dhamma, or no vowel sign on top of that letter. So it is only by itself. So the sound is b. But when I put fatha on top of Arabic letter ba, we said fatha always coming on top of Arabic letter. Imagine this line, we said it is Arabic letter. So in here we have letter ba. So fatha coming on top of Arabic letter. If you see in here, letter ba is not coming by itself. It coming or appears with another thing which is called fatha. So we have to write down the sound of fatha along with sound of ba. That's why in here we said saying that fatha has a sound, so we have to put down a along with the sound of ba. Why? Because in here we have only ba. That's why I wrote down b. But in here ba it's not by itself. It coming with the vowel sign fatha, so we have to put down the sound of fatha along with letter ba. That's why I put down a along with sound of letter ba. So together it's going to be ba. One haraka or one beat elongation. One haraka. The sound of fatha, kasra and dhamma, only one beat. Only one beat. A. B. A. Ba. Ba. So how do you read this letter? When it comes with Arabic letter, you have to say ba. You don't say b. In here you say b, but in here you have to read the sound of ba along with fatha. So you have to say ba. Ba. So b. Ba. But when letter ba coming with kasra, the sound is changing. By itself, we said by itself is b. But with kasra, we have to put down the sound of kasra along with letter ba. So ba represents the sound for letter ba, and e represents the sound of kasra. Why? Because we said kasra has e sound and it comes underneath of Arabic letters. That's why I put down kasra in here. So how do you read this letter now? You don't say b by itself, you say b. Why? Because ba is not by itself. It comes with vowel sign of kasra, so you have to say ba kasra b. Ba kasra b. In here, ba fatha ba. Ba kasra b. Ba kasra b. In here we can see that ba, it is not by itself. It comes with vowel sign dhamma, and we said the dhamma has u sound. So we have to put down the sound of ba and along with sound dhamma together, because ba is not appears by itself. It comes with another things which is called dhamma. So you have to say ba for the letter, the sound for the letter ba, and U for the sound of vowel sign damma. Okay, so this is the sound for letter ba, and this one's the sound for damma. So together it's going to be boo. So ba, bi, boo. Ba, bi, boo. That's how you're dealing with the vowel sign when coming over the Arabic letters. Let's take another example. This is letter ta. So the name is ta, but the sound coming from the first letter of the ta of the name, the first letter of the name, which is t. So we have to put down t in here. So when you read the sound of this letter, you have to say t, t. In here we have letter ta by itself, so we say t. But when ta coming with fatha, ta is not by itself in here. It comes with fatha, so we have to put down the sound of fatha along with letter ta. So what is the sound of fatha? The sound of fatha is a. So we have to put down t with a. So ta fatha ta, ta fatha to, ta. One beat elongation for sound of ta with vowel sign fatha. In here we have letter ta with kasra. So ta is not appear by itself. It's coming with another things which is called kasra, which is the vowel sign. It makes a change in the sound of ta. Why? Because in here the sound of ta is only t. But when fatha, kasra, dhamma appears with any Arabic letter, the sound is changing. In here the sound changed from t to ta. In here because ta coming with kasra, so the sound changing from t to t. Why? Because ta by itself has the sound of t, and kasra has the sound e, so together is going to be t. So ta, t. And here we have dhamma coming over the Arabic letter ta. So the sound of ta is by itself is t, and the sound of dhamma is u, so together is going to be tu. So how do you read it? Ta, dhamma, tu. Ta, dhamma, tu. So how do you read when you see ta with fatha, kasra, and dhamma? You have to say ta, ti, tu. Ta, ti, tu. Let's take another example. This is letter fa. The name of this letter is fa. Fa. Th represents the sound for letter fa. So if we write down the sound for letter fa, we have to put th in here. So this is the sound of letter fa. Fa in here does not holding any vowel sound now. So only has f sound. But when I put fatha on top of letter fa, what is going to be happen? We have to change the sound of fa to th to fa. Why? Because this fa represents the sound for letter fa, and this a represents the sound for fatha. Because in here fa is not by itself, it comes with fatha, so the sound changing from th to fa. In here, when we put kasra underneath of the letter fa, the sound changing from th to thi. Why? Because th, the th represents the sound for letter fa, and e represents the sound for kasra. Because in here, fa is not coming by itself. It's coming with another vowel which is called kasra. So the sound changing from th to thi when fa coming with letter with a vowel sign kasra. So th, fa, thi. In here, if I put down dhamma on top of letter fa, sound changing from th to thu. Why? Because sound of dhamma is u, so along with the sound of letter fa together is going to be thu. So how do you read it? Fa, dhamma, thu. Or you just pronouncing the letter with the vowel sign, you say fa, thi, thu. Or fa, fatha, fa, fa, kasra, fi, fa, dhamma, thu, or just pronounce the sound just like this, fa, thi, thu. It's up to you which one you're going to choose. And in Quran teacher, just reading the sound for you, fa, thi, thu. So another example, this is letter Jim. So the sound of letter, this is name of the letter, but the sound coming from the first letter of the name, which is G. So we have to put down G in here by itself. But when I put down fatha on top of letter G, the sound changing from J to J. Why? Because A represents the sound for fatha. Jim in here is not by itself, it's not coming by itself, it's appeared with another vowel sign which is called fatha, so the sound changing from J to J. Because A represents the sound for fatha. And if I put down kasra underneath of letter Jim, the sound changing from J to G. Why? Because this E represents the sound for kasra and this Jim represents for the sound of letter Jim by itself. So together it's going to be G. So J, G. And in here, if I put down damma on top of letter Jim, the sound changing from J to Ju. Why? Because this U represents the sound for damma, and in here Jim is not coming by itself. It appears with damma, so you have to say Jim, damma, Ju. Or just read the letter with the vowel sign like J, G, Ju. J, G, Ju. That's how you deal with the vowel sign fatha, kasra, damma when appears on top of Arabic letters. So we have some lesson in Quran teacher. Separately, we have Arabic letter with fatha. In the another lesson, we have Arabic letters that coming with kasra. In another lesson, we have Arabic letters that coming with damma. In 3 different lessons. It's up to you if you're going for each vowel sign separately or if you're going to all of them in one lesson. It's better if you are doing all of them in one lesson. It is better because you understand the sound of fatha, kasra, damma in one lesson, and it is going to be easy to understand about the vowel sign. So if you decided to go for the vowel sign fatha, kasra, damma in one lesson, it appears just like this. For example, hamza fatha a, hamza kasra I, hamza damma u. So how do you read it? A, I, u. A, I, u. This is ha. This is letter ha. Ha fatha ha. Ha kasra hi. Ha damma hu. Ha hi hu. So it's up to you how you're going to choose to read it. If you decided to say ha fatha ha, ha kasra hi, ha hi, ha damma hu, ha hi hu. So how are you going to read the letter with vowel signs fatha, kasra and damma? You say ha, hi, hu. And this one, ayn fatha a, ayn kasra I, a'i, ayn damma u, a'i, u. Or just pronounce the letter with the vowel sign a, I, u. Or ha, hi, hu. Or you can say ha fatha ha, ha kasra hi, ha damma hu, ha hi hu. Only concentrate on the vowel signs sound. The vowel sign has only one haraka, one beat. غين فتحة غا, غين كسرة غي, غا غي, غين ضمة غو, غا غي غو. Or just pronounce غا غي غو. خ خي خو, ق قي قو, ك كي كو, ج جي جو, ش شي شو, ي ي يو, ض ضي ضو, لا لي لو, ن ني نو, را ri, ru. When ra holding fatha and dhamma, the sound is heavy. Ra, ru. But when ra has kasra underneath, you have to read it softly, like ri, ri. Ra, ri, ru. Okay? The sound is different. It's soft. Ta, ti, tu. Da, di, du. Ta, ti, tu. Sa, si, su. Sa, si, su. Za, zi, zu. ظ ظي ظو, ذ ذي ذو, ث في ثو. ف في فو, و وي وو, ب بي بو, ما مي مو. One more notification. For Hamza, you know that Hamza has this shape. When Hamza appears by itself, it has a sound. But when Hamza holding any sign like fatha, kasra and dhamma, the sound of Hamza is going to be the same sound of the vowel sign. For example, in here, because Hamza holding fatha, the sound is going to be a. Okay, so sound of Hamza takes the sound of the vowel sign. Because in here, Hamza has kasra underneath, so the sound of Hamza is going to be e. Because in here, because Hamza has dhamma on top, so the sound of hamza is going to be u. So you have to pronounce it like a, I, u. Doesn't matter which type of hamza you're going to face, because as you remember, we have different type of hamza. Sometimes hamza appear on top of alif, sometimes coming underneath of alif, sometimes coming on top of waw, sometimes coming on top of ya. Doesn't matter, as long as you concentrate on the hamza and the sound of hamza hold. For example, in here we say a. If we put down kasra in here, you say I. If we put down a damma in here, you say u. If we put down fatha in here, you say a. Okay, when hamza coming with any Arabic letter, you have to forget about the Arabic letter. Only concentrate on hamza and the sounds that hamza holds. So in here, we not read alif, we not read alif, we not read waw, we not read ya. We only concentrate on hamza and the signs that hamza hold. They all called hamza, all type of hamza. I hope this is clear for all of you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.